Is there a little voice in your head holding you back? What if the words you heard could give you a boost instead of cutting you down? That'd be great, wouldn't it? Here to help you open your mind and kick your inner critic out, author of Wise Mind, Open Mind, Dr. Ron Alexander. Great to have you here this morning.
It's a delight.
You have an amazing book that is out now, Wise Mind, Open Mind, and it talks about how to get through challenging times of crisis and keep that mind to be your friend. And I know that a lot of us just have that inner critic going and going and going all day long.
Yes, the critic is oftentimes the part of the self that really chastises and judges, and it causes a lot of stress and anxiety and discomfort. And in my book, what I teach is a very quick four-step process to help you feel better about yourself, to bring more compassion and kindness to those painful thoughts.
And even if we haven't been through a crisis, I think this is an amazingly useful tool any day of the week. But you actually experienced a couple of defining moments in your own life which led you to write the book.
Yeah, the very first one is I went to go to college in Amherst, and in my junior year I had an anxiety attack. And I didn't even know what anxiety was. So I went to the Student Counseling Center, and I was given the wonderful choice. They said, would you like to have medication or would you like meditation? And I had heard a little bit about meditation from Maharishi and the Beatles when I was a teenager. And so I said, well, medication kind of scares me, so I think I'll take the meditation. And so I went to an 8-week program on meditation, and each and every day I found my anxiety getting lesser and lesser and more comfortable.
Wonderful story to hear about that. Let's talk about the 4 steps that you were referencing earlier, because even if it seems impossible and that our thoughts are our own worst enemy, there is a way for every single one of us to really shift that around.
Yes, and one of the things I write in my book is the most important thing about the mind is to recognize that the mind can do anything, and that the mind is creative, and that our minds need direction. Just like if you're sailing from Los Angeles or San Diego to Hawaii, you have to have a rudder and you have to have a compass. And so the first very step in my process is identify what is the negative thought or the painful thought that you're having.
Okay. Identifying the negative thought. Once we do that and we've identified it, what do we do from there? Because we can't leave people hanging. Okay.
The second thing is then to give it a theme, like harsh inner critic or judgmental mother or insecure self. So you have to provide a theme so that you have a way of kind of labeling it in the same way that you'd title a movie or title a chapter. And then the third step is what you wish to do is you want to find a remedy. And what we do in my book is I've come up with this very unique approach, which is take whatever is negative and take a polarity, an opposing, more wholesome, more positive thought, and match it with the negative one.
Kind of like if you were going to say, gosh, I'm such an overeater, and instead you could say something like, you know, I eat in moderation, I have a wonderful, beautiful, wholesome body.
Yes.
Just kind of shifting it upside down.
Yes, and I see myself slimmer and slimmer. I experience that I have the potential to eat in moderation. So to match the word overeater to moderate eater.
It's amazing because really as human beings, we do have control over our mind. And what I am just amazed about again and again reading wonderful books like yours is that our feelings come from our thoughts. So if we're able to shift our thoughts, eventually we're just going to feel better.
Yes. And once again, in all of the meditation literature and the ancient science and art of meditation that goes back 2,400 years at the time of the Buddha, and the Buddha is actually the person that created mindfulness practice or mindfulness meditation. And his very first sutra was on changing the mind will change the brain, so that you can change your entire nervous system, all of your psychophysiology, if you start to look at the transformation of thought, which then changes feeling and then changes sensation in the body.
Wonderful. By the way, how is your anxiety?
It's excellent.
Good.
It's
I'm glad to
wonderful.
hear that. You're a walking testimonial, and we just want all of you guys watching today and listening to have an opportunity to get free copies of Dr. Alexander's book, Wise Mind, Open Mind. Go to our raffle page at 11 a.m. We've got free copies for you, and I hope it'll bring you as much peace as it did to Dr. Alexander. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Wonderful to have you today.
Thank you very, very much.
Thanks.